Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where you know how I keep saying I need to stop procrastinating because it keeps being like an hour before the video is supposed to go live? Well, it's that again. It's an hour and a half. So that's exciting. And I've got in my notes here that we need to track down what's going on with the hex selection window, but I don't know what's going on with the hex selection window. I'm going to go ahead and open this up here and take a quick look. Let's see, I believe we were getting a null reference exception, if I recall correctly. That's been a while ago. Let's go ahead and fire this up and see what actually ends up happening. We do have that loading screen in, so we don't have the complete and total lack of feedback. We've just, you know, got a significant lack of feedback instead. Oh boy. Okay. So here we are. We are just about loaded in. Okay. Time for biome generation, 18 seconds. That's not too bad. Okay, that was a bit of a hitch there. But that's okay. I think that was just a garbage collection spike. So we come on in here and we select none, hex number 9. Okay, so it's a problem with the updating of it. It's got the correct hex selection, but if we go in here and we buy land and we purchase this storefront and we select that, yeah, we need to go in interaction mode none. It does update the owned correctly, but it still thinks that there's no building there on any of these. So that indicates to me that there is definitely a problem here, and that is to do with this here. So hex name field.text, go away Unity, hex name field.text equals system.enum.getName type of building type, building.type. So where does selected building get chosen? Right here. So if business.selectedHex is not equal to int3.no, go away. What even is this? Do that again. I'm gonna have to uninstall that. I don't know what that is. Okay, so public building selected building. If business.selectedHex is not equal to int3.no, then we return manager.getBuildingByIndex business.selectedHex. Okay, that is an int3. Else if business.originalTransferHex is not equal to int3.no, return manager.getBuildingByIndex business.originalTransferHex. Yeah, that makes sense. So the thing is here, we know that there's a selected hex, right? So if we know that, then we know that this is returning an incorrect hex. So the question is, why? So manager.getBuildingByIndex is probably where we're going to need to look here. So let's hop into the hex manager. And public building get building by index, it returns get hex store by index indices.worldHex, indices.biomehex.buildings, indices.buildinghex. Okay, that makes sense. So in the hex store by index, this grabs the world hex via get world hex by index, world hex index, and then it returns world hex.biomehex's biome hex index. That makes sense. So then the question is, do we have an error in this? And that is a question. Well, let's go ahead and comment this out here. And for right now, let's go back to the less optimal version of this, which is just for int I equals 0, I is less than map.width, or rather map.count I++, for int j equals 0, j is less than map I.count j++, nope, not +6, ++. If map I j dot index hex index equals index, return map I j. Okay, so that's the slower version that we know will get us the right thing. That's just to determine if that other bit of code was in fact the problem, and if it was, how much is this going to slow down our generation? That's the other question. We're about to find that out. We know it takes about 18 seconds with the faster version. Oh, this is definitely substantially slower. Extremely substantially. But we'll just let this go ahead and go on through, and we're going to determine if this is in fact the problem. And if it is, then the question is, what is broken here? So int j equals mathf.floor to int index over map width. Is it returning nearly the right map? Or nearly the right world hex? If so, we can just make a small optimization, because yeah, this is so much slower. Ah! And I'm throwing stuff on the ground. I'm so upset with how slow this is, apparently. So I think what we need to be doing is we need to go ahead and do something kind of like this. And rather than just returning it, I want to debug.log, and this is going to be string.format. And we're going to toss in there something along the lines of looking for index 0 got index 1. Like so, and then for our arguments, we'll just put in index.toString. And then for our second argument, we will put in map I j.hexindex.toString. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and run this with our next one, assuming that this works and is just way slower. We're just going to continue to debug that. Oh my, this is so slow. This is insanely slow. Okay, I'm gonna stop this. This is taking too long. Way too long. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put this back to here, and we're just going to output whether we're getting the right index or not. And let's only output this if map ij.hexindex is not equal to index. So that way we don't spam this out every time we do this call. Unless it's wrong every time. In which case, I'd like to know that. So let's go ahead and run this as soon as it compiles anyway. There we go. Come on. It must be outputting a lot of debug logs. Well, that's a bit frightening. That indicates that we're probably going to have to go back to the drawing board on that. Interesting. Like, do we have this backwards, maybe? Not sure. I don't have Task Manager up, though, and if I start it up, then we lose our picture in OBS, and I would have to restart OBS. Maybe I can launch it via the Start menu. I can. Excellent. Because, yeah, Unity is currently a little broken. I'm going to go ahead and end that, and we're going to restart it. Okay. And we're going to try running this for only the first frame. And we're going to see if it was broken from the previous time, because it was using like 6 gigs of RAM. And now it's using like 1.6, which is better. 1.8. Yeah, it must be outputting debug logs, right? That's the only thing I can figure here. So the question then is, we checked this. This was giving us the remainder that we were expecting. So we've got the mathf.floor to int of index for map width. Both of these are integers. Do you think maybe we have a rounding error here? Do we need to cast these over to floats? We can try that. I doubt that's the problem. Loud. I doubt that's the problem, but I do want to continue to let this run for this frame. You know what we could potentially do? We could toss in like an application.quit here. Because, I mean, this is a log error, since I just changed it. Yeah, I realize that these floats are a little redundant, but I want to make sure that they're floats. Because, I mean, realistically, what if we've got like 26 divided by 50? That's not going to go evenly. So I want to make sure that that's a float, and then we floor it to an integer. That's the idea, anyway. Oh, hey, it got done. Excellent. Looking for index 1, got index 50. Okay. And is that the case all the way through here? Looking for index 53, got index 151. So yeah, it's definitely returning the wrong thing. It was looking for index 1, which I believe is this guy right here. Nope. That guy's 50, so this guy would be index 1. But it got this one, which tells me a couple of things. One, we're building columns, not rows. 2, we're very close, actually. So, what this indicates to me is map I is what? Is this rows? Let's see, when we actually generate the map, we do this int I is less than width, and then we add in a list here. So we add this map I. Okay, so it's stored this way, but the hex index goes this way? Is that what's happening here? I'm pretty sure that that's what's happening here. Yeah. Because this iterates through J, so it iterates through the column, and then it stores it the other way. Well, no, this is storing it in J. Okay, so when we are down here, we can safely get rid of this. When we're down here, our map IJ is not exactly accurate, right? We need to have our J... I think we need to flip these. Maybe. I think the code is right, but we need to flip these because I was thinking about it row-column rather than column-row. Let's see if that works. I'm going to go ahead and unplay this. If Unity will let me. There we go. And we'll see how that goes. It can't go worse. Okay, it looks like that's correct. Perfect. So let's go ahead and let this load. And then when we go in, let's make sure that the hex selection window is working correctly. There we go. We'll go ahead and skip the tutorial. We've got that huge garbage collection spike that always pops up right there. We'll see about doing something about that later on. And yeah, it looks like this is now working correctly. Fantastic. Okay, well, that is now fixed. I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode, we will... probably work on implementing packages and routes? Yeah, that'll probably be the next thing. See you all then.